Okay, this is Slow Rider. Possibly the last. Might split this into two, so I just gotta head home to Metavistas. Take the side road. We'll go past the holding pond while the water is. Gotta kind of make the loop-de-doop here. The loop-de-doop. This gas here's been here. This station's been here like 20 years. 20 years. Just like this McDonald's, they just remodeled it. It wasn't one of the old ones, but it looked like a kind of a normal. I guess what I call a third generation. The first generation is the one with the arches were built into the building. We had like a regular McDonald's looking. And about a year ago, they built this mega. There's like 6 drive-thrus back there. It's crazy. The coast is clear. Ready for rocket launch. Dos el bruto. Bruto in Spanish means little burro. So they got the little burro. That's what it means. Anfalani's, that's the best breakfast joint in California, let alone United States or the world. I mean, that place is awesome. Hey, I think this might be my neighbor. No, he got the same truck. Nice gentlemanly gesture. Let the slow rider pull through there. That was a missed shift. See, that's what happens when you upshift and you miss it. You do like a little wheelie. It's weird. I don't know if it's I think it's juicing the gas. It's weird. Maybe my hand is just rotating. Don't do it. He came pretty close. I knew he was going to cut it close there. That's one of those. Do I stop? Do I go? I should have floored it. I usually floor it when that happened. I was talking. I can't talk and ride. Can I walk and chew bubble gum? Sometimes the accelerator's your friend, especially on this bike. It's so stable. I mean, I never feel out of control when I'm accelerating. I just never, shouldn't say never, but so far I haven't. I've only got the wheel loose a few times because it's been gravel. Like I said, yesterday I had to wait at work. I came around the corner and there was a bunch of literally sand on the road. I'm taking a corner. Luckily, it was a fairly sharp corner. Luckily, I was able just to I saw it and got a little sideways on the rear, but was able just to kind of pull the clutch in and roll through it. I got out of there without wiping out. That was my fault. I was just coming around the corner blind, too fast, got too comfortable. I've been around that corner hundreds of times, man. Never saw the gravel or sand or whatever. So I thought, whoa. And I saw it at the last minute, so I was like, okay, that's just when you go over it. If I tried to swerve, I'd have wiped out. Just kind of almost floated over it a little bit. Okay, there's cars in front of me, so they're gonna trip the light. What's he got here? Got the little Bear family, Laredo. He's got one of those old school black and orange California plates. What's he got on there? Must have a dog. Got a dog sticker and a Canadian flag. He's one of them there Canucks from the Great White North. And he's off the reservation here, man. That's a nice car though, Toyota Hybrid, yeah, Highlander, nice. I'd like to have one of those. I got a Toyota Prius C. I got the smallest Prius they make. It's the hatchback Prius, a real hatchback. It's got like, I think, it's got like 60 horsepower engine and like a 35 horsepower electric motor. So it's got like 92 horsepower. It's kind of fun. It goes pretty good though. The battery goes dry. He's doing 60. Not bad. He's pumping it. I'm here talking. But the good thing about the Prius is if you go camping in them, since I got the AC and everything, you can. It takes 1 gallon per night. I've been on a long business trip where it's like 120 degrees in Arizona, and you're driving through, and you stop at the rest stop, and you can let it run overnight, and you're in like 65 degree inside, and it's 120 outside, and the car it's not a problem. It just handles it. And vice versa in the wintertime, the heater. So it's got like basically the climate control, and it turns on and off, which is nice. So like in a normal car, if you did that, you'd burn through about a gallon per hour just idling. So you get away with that, a gallon a night. And I also use my Prius. I put a inverter on it, runs my house. So when the power goes out in California, which happens quite a bit, I plug my house into my Prius. And that takes about 3 gallons a night instead of 24 or 30, which a generator would take. Because a generator takes about a gallon an hour because they run it like they just run it full speed, you know. The good thing about the Prius, since it's got the big battery, it charges the battery, and then when the battery's charged, it just shuts off, and then as you're tapping that power to run your house, the watts, the kilowatt hours, you just run your house off of it, and then when it needs to top off, the engine starts and tops it off. So basically, you just that guy came over the line. Here's the water coming down the mountain on the right here. Here's all the cold. That's the cold, icy water. No, look at that. I'm gonna go by the lake up here. But, so I usually burn up here if I'm talking. Speed up. This road's got a little bit of a negative camber to it, so it's a little trickier than it looks. That's not flat there. It's like slipping away pretty sharp to my right. So this is what's called a forebay. This is where they store the water. There's a generation plant to my left. Can't see it. There's the discharge water. That's usually never open. That means it's over full. So if we go up here, it's going to be full to the max. Oh yeah, see that's full to the brim. So there's always people fishing here. They stock this with trout and bass. So anyways, that's people like that's always packed there fishing. And that's fed by the snow melt and all the aqueducts that come down here. So it turns out that California dumps nearly 80% of the water into the ocean. It just dumps it. All that water you see, 80% of that is dumped into the ocean, so it makes you wonder about the drought. Anyways, that's the sad truth on that. I guess there's some salamander somewhere that needs some sort of water, and it gets, I think the real number is 78%, but it's about 80. So that only leaves 20% for the humans, and since there's more humans than there used to be originally in this area, there's more water, so more water requirement. Hence, there's always a drought because you're throwing away 80% of the water. Just Schlowetter, a little bit of math from Schlowetter. And the only reason I know that, I took a drive down to Los Angeles last weekend. Unfortunately, not on my bike. It was just too hot. I can't take the desert heat through Churchill Valley. Otherwise I would. It's just too hot. I drove down there in sweet air-conditioned luxury, but all the farmers have signs out because the farmers are all getting they're getting starved out because apparently growing food's a crime now in California. You're not allowed to have water. You can't. All the farmers are being basically, instead of burned out, they're being droughted out. Their water's cut off, so you can look that up. California, essentially, a lot of farmers are out of business. Their crops, because they just don't let them use the water because they got to dump 80% of it into the ocean, so the farmers can't use it, which doesn't make any sense. They should at least be recharging the groundwater, pumping it back into the ground instead of just dumping it. That would be the prudent thing to do, but oh well. It's California. Okay, this is coming into Meta Vista. I'll pull over and reboot. So this is the next to last segment to my ride home. What is this? Placer Hills Road. I'm going 60 and a 45. That's the thing about this camera. I guess it looks like I'm going slower than I am. I don't know. Not a big deal. Because you don't get the lean angle and you don't get that need for speed. Maybe I'll mount the camera on the front. I don't know. It might look a little cooler. A lot of people say they like this floating back view because you can see the bike suspension and the wheels turning. So that was a 60 mile an hour, 60 mph turn, extended turn. That's a fun turn to practice. You can get on it. I've been up to around that 70 miles per hour. But this turn's weird. It's like a negative camber to the left, so it's kind of hard. You'd really have to be cooking it. Plus, coming up on town, you don't want to go too fast. People are always pulling in and out from the side here. Like this ain't like the tail of the dragon. There's just this hair of the dog where there's actually people cross traffic all over. So it gets pretty hairy. I call it the hair of the dog. I was thinking people are interested, I could make some trail maps for motorcycles. There's a lot of good loops around here you can do. Okay, I'm going to pull over and reboot up here. That's our local Shell. That's the kind of oil the Ducatis use, Shell oil, man. We will pull over, not the local Ace Hardware, we'll pull over at the, what is this, Pizza Shack. This is the Mountain Mike's.